I've worked all of my life to live in Italy. We found this place, and now this is our place, and it means everything to me. I love that Tuscan food, it's about basic ingredients and the quality of them. It can take a long time. There's braised meats, there's slow-cooked ragouts and sauces and things. Ramen around Tuscany. We're cooking skirt steak in the broth, some simmered porcini. We also have some thinly sliced peeled ginger in there, and we're going to whisk in some white miso. And there you go. Boom! Food is a conduit. We make food to take us away to places we've never been and dream about going to. You just need your imagination and a couple of bucks, and you have a ticket to anywhere. So come on over. I love this place. I hope you do too. Okay, ramen around Tuscany. Ramen around Tuscany, my dog likes to ramen around or roam around in the middle of the night every night, especially when daddy's not home. So she likes to roam, but when I'm in Italy, my friends that live here, my Italian friends, they like to come to our house for weird food that they can't get readily. So definitely ramen bowls, the stuff that they don't sell locally in abundance. Like, of course, they enjoy having pasta here too, but I try and bring over odd stuff for them. So today we're going to make a ramen bowl that's a little bit creamy because we use tahini. Neat point. A lot of ramen bowls have sesame oil or sesame seed as fun little flourishes or garnishes. Ramen bowls aren't just the noodles. They're all of the ingredients that go into the flavoring the broth itself. Now, most people don't have the time to make proper ramen broth with roasted pork bones and slow cooking pork belly or developing fats and flavors. So the little bit of a ripoff is to just combine flavors that you like in store-bought stock and bone broth, okay? So this is a beef ramen bowl. So I have half beef brodo, that's bone broth, and I have half vegetable stock. My own, because I happen to like it. I worked a very long time on that recipe. But yeah, you're just gonna put in flavors that you like and that marry what you're cooking in the broth. Today, we're cooking skirt steak in the broth. This is a very flavorful, well marbled, so it's got a good fat quantity in it, but also high protein. To flavor the stock, I already have in here some simmered porcini, and they're cooking liquid. We don't use the last 2 or 3 tablespoons of liquid whenever we use dried mushrooms and reconstitute them. We're trying to make liquid taste like mushroom to fortify whatever our broth is, okay? So we're adding that layer of flavor. We don't use the last few tablespoons anytime we cook with any sort of dried mushroom because grit can settle to the bottom of the pot. So we've got that going on. We also have some thinly sliced peeled ginger in there. I love ginger. I could eat chunks of it, slices of it, bits of it. If you're weirded out by that, you can grate it into the broth. I have little thin slices of peeled ginger already in the main broth pan. We have several pots up here, including a pot of plain water. The ramen, or the Japanese noodles themselves, we have to cook separately. Why? Because they're already seasoned and they have oil in them. We don't want them in the same pot as our main stock, okay? And I have yet another pot that I'm going to crisp fresh mushrooms in. We'll get to that in a sec. But to the main base, we're going to add a few cloves of crushed garlic, and we're going to whisk in some white miso. Okay, so miso keeps forever, and white miso is very kind of innocuous. It's, you know, mildish, it's just there, but it adds an umami. It adds a really good flavor. This is very innocuous miso. You can get a little bit stronger flavor if you want to go with red miso. A little more, hey, I'm here. This is really just a layer of flavor. And I'm making like a triple recipe because we have a lot of mouths to feed. So I'm gonna add big 2 honkin' spoonfuls of that, mounded spoonfuls of that into our base. And we can always add more later. You don't wanna start out too strong with anything, right? We just wanna get it going. We need a whisk to help us out here because miso's pretty tough. It's a pretty tough customer. It says paste, it's more like cement. You really gotta move it around some. Ooh, not necessarily all over your shirt, but you know, this is why I wear black, mostly, all of the time. So this is the water, just to catch up, for the ramen. This is the base stock for the ramen bowls. This is the pot to make the crispy, fresh mushrooms. So tahini is going to make this creamy. Creamy tahini. Rhymes, right? I make Italian pasta dishes with tahini. It's just ground sesame seed. But I think it's also fair game for ramen or Chinese food because so much Chinese, Japanese, Thai food has actual sesame oil, sesame seeds incorporated. I feel it's a completely legitimate way to also make your ramen broth a little bit more creamy. Now, I put in a 1/4 cup for every couple of quarts of stock or water, but we have more because I'm batching this out in a larger way. So I'm gonna do that twice. I'm gonna scoop in about 8 tablespoons. This is a lot of liquid I got in here. And again, like the miso, you kind of got to beat it up. Tahini seizes up because of the fat content of the sesame seeds, right? All right, so as we go to break, let's start browning up some fresh mushrooms. You know what? Maybe we should go to break first because I get kind of preachy about fresh mushrooms. Let's go to break. We'll be right back. So here I have a bowl of sliced assorted mushrooms. Mushrooms cook way down and they concentrate their flavor, which is a really good thing, right? So here I have a bowl of sliced assorted mushrooms, a really good 1.5 pounds, because I'm cooking for more. If you're cooking for 4, you need at least a solid pound of fresh mushroom. Mushrooms cook way down. All vegetables and mushrooms lose most of their size and they concentrate their flavor, which is a really good thing, right? As they lose the water content. I also have a couple of cloves of crushed garlic in here just because I like garlic and I put it in everything. We have, to remind you, our broth cooking down with our tahini and our miso and our ginger and the porcini, another mushroom in the dish. And we have our ramen water. We do not salt this water. I always salt water for dried pasta. We do not do that with ramen. It has salt and oil already in it. So now we're going to take the fresh mushrooms, which should never, in my opinion, soak or overwash because it bloats them and it puts too much liquid content into them. It's best to take a damp cloth and brush off any of the dirt. A little bit of dirt ain't gonna hurt you. It's gonna improve your immune system. Wipe the mushrooms down especially like I do that with cremini all the time, and portobello. And then we thinly slice them, okay? Now we're going to crisp them. So I'm gonna put a pan, this is conical shaped, it's like a kind of a baby wok kind of a situation. And I'm gonna keep moving stuff off to the side as the mushrooms cook down. Make sure it's coated pretty generously with a high temperature cooking oil. What does that mean? That means the oil is light enough that you can see through it, whether you spray it or pour it. So canola oil, vegetable oil, safflower oil, sunflower oil, all of these are good choices. Grapeseed oil. You just want something innocuous that's not too heavy. So we'll throw in some of our mixture. I have these adorable little baby milk tops. I have all kinds of different mushrooms in here. You really just should have fun. Go and look and see what is the cutest looking little button cap. Chestnut mushrooms, fantastic. Shiitakes, everybody knows, right? Oysters, they kind of do look like oysters, don't they? You can really mix up anything. All right, we're gonna scoot these guys off to the side. And fill the pot up again, in the middle. Now, don't move these guys in the middle yet. Let them cook. Let them cook. See how I'm just kind of settle them in there a little bit, which you should probably do with the wooden spatula instead of your hand. And then we add a little bit more salt because it draws out liquid, and over the shoulder for luck, and there you go. So we have, for every 4 portions, 1 pound to 1.25 pounds of skirt steak. We're gonna drop them in, and they'll separate and cook instantly. Are you guys ready? This is epic. So we have skirt steak. For every 4 portions, 1 pound to 1.25 pounds. And we're going to, look how thin. Okay, these little ribbons, we're gonna drop them in to our crazy broth, and they'll separate and cook instantly, pretty much, okay? And it's made creamy with the miso and the tahini, the sesame paste. Cuckoo delicious. And we already have the porcini in there, some garlic, some ginger. Hello, crispy fresh mushrooms. How would you like to go to the hot tub with all of your friends? Whoop, boom, down, in there. But wait, these are ramen bowls. Where's the noodles? To me, that's a more important statement than where's the beef. Remember that? Ramen noodles you can get online from anywhere. They're super cheap. They're delightful. And each portion comes with a little ribbon around it. Isn't that sweet? It's like it's a wedding gift or a favor at a party or something. It's very festive. You could use thin spaghetti if you want, if it's in a pinch and it's like snowing outside or something. You can make a ramen bowl otherwise. And there's a million people online that make ramen bowls with those little packets, like when you were like 15 and cooking out of a microwave. Don't do that. We can be better than that. This is not expensive, and you can get it online from anywhere on the planet Earth. But you need 1 portion for every person. Okay, so we're gonna, as I said, put our ramen in a separate pot to cook. It cooks in just a couple of minutes. Hi, Bella. What are you looking for, beef or noodles? She loves noodles too. Are you looking for beef or noodles, honey? Okay, so One of John's asks for Christmas, and he doesn't really ask for anything. I buy him, believe me, he's a spoiled man. I buy him instruments mostly. Guitars, keyboards, he plays everything on the planet. So he always gets some sort of musical equipment or an instrument. But he actually wanted ramen bowls, which I thought was so cute. And there's a place, you're not gonna believe me, but it's in Rome. Like I told you, all my friends here, they love coming over because they can have food they never have. There is an awesome place in Rome that serves ramen noodles, which is a Japanese dish. But their food is amazing. And he said, oh, honey, look at the cool spoons. That's a proper ramen spoon. See the angle it's at? And you can really slurp away. So etiquette is, this shaped spoon is specific because you eat the broth separate from the noodles and the veg. That's what we use the chopsticks for. So these sets come together like this. Like you actually get chopsticks and the flat bottom spoon with the beautiful bowls, okay? Now, the fun part about the garnishes for this, right after this. Okay, guys, the garnishes. 7-minute eggs, very jammy in the center. You want them to be this kind of consistency. That's what's cool about them. Okay, guys, the garnishes. If you want to take the time to make the sake or mirin, soy sauce, tiny sprinkle of sugar, splash of rice wine vinegar, soaked eggs. They look like they've been stained with tea. They're 7-minute eggs because you want them very jammy in the center. What does that mean? Jammy means very punchy when you touch them. And I've said this before, even on this show, which is new to my life, cooking all the time here in Italy. Jammy looks like this, okay? It looks like jam in the middle. So jammy eggs and hard-boiled eggs, 7 minutes to 12 minutes, that whole world, best made with eggs that are starting to get a little older, not super fresh that day. Don't go outside, take them from your chickens and bring them inside and make jammy eggs. Let them hang out a little bit. I mean, always look at your expiration dates. In Italy, it's actually written on the shell, as we've talked about. But you want them to be this kind of consistency, this really sexy looking, oh, can't wait to get it there. That's what's cool about them, is you're like, what is that? And the outside tastes like sake or mirin, rice wine, basically, and soy sauce. So there's your natural, your salt, right? Light soy sauce, by the way, is not light. It's not light salt. It's actually heavy salt. Dark soy sauce is sweet soy sauce. Light soy sauce, unless it says low sodium on the label, just means soy sauce, salty soy sauce. Just so you know that. If you're watching your blood pressure or whatever, that's a good thing to know. I'm gonna start building a bowl. Let me just grab the tongs. I'm trying to portion the beef and porcini in one quadrant here. It's not gonna come out perfect, guys. It's soup, it's gonna float around. So don't go too kooky with your, I want to organize my bowl. So I have the protein and the mushrooms. I have the noodles. Never serve with chopsticks in the bowl, always on the side. It's a sign of aggression to do it otherwise. a little bit of your fresh, and it can be anything. I have carrots and scallions, very simple, and your jammy eggs. We have a lot of people here. I better be a little more sparing with the egg situation. Taking you back, sorry. And then the last thing you do, and then over the top, woo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Try and get mostly ramen broth. And there you go.